this old house.
I'll show you how to install this stone walkway.
So how deep are we gonna go?
Well, normally I go about 6 inches deep, but because we're using bigger stones, I want to go about 8.
I use painter's tape all the time, but there are some secrets to get the most out of it. Just gentle, press the edges of the tape so it makes sure the paint won't bleed underneath the tape's edge.
Okay, Tommy, what are we building today?
A headboard, what do you think?
Wow, that's nice. I like that. What is that material?
That's 3/4 rough sawn flooring.
Wow, that looks really good. Yeah, I'm on board with that. Hi there, I'm Kevin O'Connor, and welcome back to Ask This Old House. Keep your letters and your questions coming, your emails. We love hearing from you. And we also love hearing the projects you're working on. And Tommy, apparently a lot of people are working on the Build It projects.
I know, I love seeing these emails coming in. They're getting a lot of inspiration, but they're also building exactly what we built. Here's the message center.
Love that, with the chalkboard in the middle.
Bookshelf out of the stair treads.
Oh, that's right, so the nosing was already on.
Right, and this guy took it on his own. He added a regular bookshelf with standard pine, but he took the stair treads and made doors out of it.
Huh, clever.
And remember that iron shelf unit that we made? Well, this guy built one, modified it a little bit for his TV to go on, and this is his first project for his new house.
Perfect, I love it. And I know we've got another Build It today, and I'm sure it's going to be just as inspiring as all those.
Should be a fun project.
You see that pipe shelf again.
Hi, Mark.
Hello, Emily.
Welcome.
Thank you. House looks great.
Thank you very much. We've been here for about 3 years, and
Okay.
my husband and I did a lot of renovation. We added on our back deck and our stairway from our driveway over here.
Looks great. Looks great. So I see a set of stairs.
Yes.
A driveway. A big patch of dirt in between, so you're probably looking for a walkway.
We are.
All right.
We really like the look of our back walkway over here, but
Okay,
we
very
weren't
nice.
quite sure how to make that happen in this space.
That's a great looking stone, natural stone, randomly placed, which is what people like. It'll go perfectly over here, and I think we can do it. You up for it?
Definitely.
All right, let's get some tools and we'll get going.
Great.
All right, so you can see we marked out the walkway.
Great.
We have a nice curve in there. These are our stones.
Oh, so they're nice and big.
Yeah, that's exactly what we want, because if you come off the step, you're going to want to step on something solid. The most important thing we're going to do is to make these fit tight. We're going to end up cutting a little. There's no factory edges on these stones, so
Okay.
we're going to kind of do them ourselves. The first thing we have to do is excavate. So why don't we go do that? Before any digging can happen, we have to call the utility locating service to make sure we don't damage any underground utility lines. I've already done this, so we're good to go.
So how deep are we gonna go?
Well, normally I go about 6 inches deep, but because we're using bigger stones, I want to go about 8. Now we're going to use the plate compactor to compact the subbase. We want to make it as strong as possible. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to install this crusher run. All it is gravel, stone dust mixed together. Some people call it pack. But what it's going to do is give us that great base that we're looking for. So we're going to bring in a couple inches, pack it down, bring in a couple more, pack that down, and then we're going to be ready for the stone.
Okay.
All right, Emily, so this is going to be our first stone. You can see how uneven the bottom is?
Yes.
That's why we're using the stone dust mixed with water. Okay. You're going to give me 3 or 4 shovelfuls of that. I'm going to level it out a little bit. Great. Okay, Emily, I'm looking pretty good right now, but what I'm going to want to do is take that and go right in the middle.
All right.
And that's going to be my high spot. Okay, that looks good. Why don't you come on over?
Okay.
Let's move this guy into place. So tip it right down. I'm gonna walk it in. There you go. And this is when I talk about wiggling it down.
Yep.
Right now, all those voids are being filled with the stone dust.
Okay.
We're gonna give it a tap. You hear that? That's solid. Now we want to check for level. Little high. What we want to do is just wiggle that down. See, that took care of it. So now let's go this way. Little high that way. All that is a tap, tap. One more check. And we're good.
That's good.
All right. All right, well, we got our first stone down, so why don't you get me some more stone dust? We'll start our second.
Okay.
Great.
So how do you select which rock goes with which one?
So we're basically just putting a puzzle together, so whatever looks like it fits, throw it in. And I'm just gonna try to see what my best
Yeah.
piece is, and that was it. Right. So I'm just gonna lay it down to do a dry cut. I can see I'm too much, so I just want to nip this corner a little bit.
All right.
I know I want to undermine the stone, so I'm going to cut at an angle. See how much tighter we got?
Yeah.
So, just take the material down a little bit because it's a thicker stone. Emily, right here. Yep. All right, Emily, so we have one more thing to do. It's one of the most important things. It's actually cheap insurance. It's this plastic rail. It's
Okay.
going to tie in the walkway. So I'm going to start up here. Just
Okay.
get it down, pick a spot in the middle.
Okay.
Great. Let's move down.
Right there.
Yep, great. Great. All right, Emily, here's the walkway. What do you think?
It looks wonderful, and it matches so well with what we have back here. I love it.
Great. The only thing you have to do when I leave is plant some grass seed on the edges.
Okay.
And of course, the old pathway that you used to use.
Sure, we can do that.
All right, but other than that, you're good to go.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, you're
Love
welcome.
it.
All right, nice job, Mark.
Thanks, Kevin.
Got a happy and a hard-working homeowner right there.
She helped out a lot. She really worked hard, yeah.
So Emily mentioned the close match to the walk in the back. Not an exact match, but
Right.
close. And that's always the toughest thing, right?
Yeah. Well, stone is a naturally occurring substance, so it's going to be different, you know, from time to time. The stuff that she had in the backyard, we really didn't have any luck, so we ended up doing something that was really close,
Yeah.
and I think it worked pretty well.
It worked out well, but that is the key to the good walk, is getting it as close to that color as you can.
That's right.
And when you say you didn't have luck, what was your process for trying to find a match? What do you do?
First thing I did was local stone yards. That's
Yeah.
where I went because that's usually where people would go. The stuff is very bulky, so hard to move around, which would be another reason to shop locally, but again, if we can't find it, we can't find it.
And the other difference I noticed was on the back, the gaps were a little wider. They weren't filled up with stone dust, whereas in the front you filled it all the way up, so it was more of a stone look.
Right, in the front we had a formal walkway with stone dust in it. What I like to do is make a garden path sometimes. We'll take and open up those joints, take all the stone dust out, some loam, and then plant like a juga or Irish moss in there. It'll fill it all in, and it'll be a beautiful garden path.
And what do you like in there, Roger? Something that's hardy, something that can be stepped on
Oh
and
yeah,
tolerated?
absolutely. It'll have to be tough, but Irish moss and a juga will take a lot of wear.
The Irish are tough, aren't they?
Don't we know?
All right, McCullough, nice
All right,
job.
Thank you.
Hey, McCook,
Yeah, McCook.
Hi, Mauro.
Jeff, how you
So
doing?
we are talking painter's tape, which is a little bit of a misnomer, I would think, because it seems like painters, professionals at least, rarely use it, and homeowners are the ones who grab it.
Very rarely, yes.
Do you use this stuff?
I use when I need it. Let's say I'm doing a whole room, I don't mask anything.
You don't?
No, because we're going to be painting ceilings, walls, and trim. We're going to do the whole thing. So I can overlap paint on the ceiling, trim, and walls. So this way, I don't mask anything.
When do you use it?
When I have a small project that, I'm not doing all part of it, then if I have like a fireplace, if I have something like the baseboard we're not painting,
Yeah.
those are the areas we're starting to mask and protect.
All right, so it's interesting you call it masking, presumably coming from masking tape. Do you use that stuff?
A lot of people and homeowners think this is the way to go.
Yeah.
All right. But this paint is only good for one day. It has a very high adhesion. It's not recommended for painted surfaces.
You don't want this for painted at all?
You don't want that.
All right, well, that's okay, because obviously we've got a lot of options in terms of painter's tape. What the heck am I looking at
We
right here?
got two different grades here. We have exterior grade, which is specific for exterior surfaces.
It says it right on the label.
That is a very high adhesion.
Even has that labeled as well. There's a little grid right here, and this guy's the highest. So that makes sense to me, right?
Right.
It's going to have to withstand the weather, different surfaces. High adhesion is
High
good.
adhesion is also waterproof paint.
Oh, okay. So that would be for the exterior.
That's for the
Interior,
exterior. Here we have like a few options here.
yeah, you got a salad bar right here. Do the colors matter? Do they tell us anything?
Different color, different manufacturer. That's how it is.
That's it.
That's it.
So different colors doesn't mean different levels of performance. Okay, so blue and green could perform the same way. They're just made by different companies.
Different companies.
All right,
And-
what are the levels interior that I'm looking
Oh,
for?
the interior, the most popular ones is the medium adhesion.
Medium adhesion.
Medium, which is this one here.
Again, there's a chart on this one, and it says it right there
Yep.
that is medium. So that's going to, meaning what? Adhesion means how many days it's going to stay up?
It means how many days it stay up, and for different surface, meaning
Gotcha.
less adhesion, the better.
Okay.
Okay, and
What
then
have you
we
got
have
there?
the yellow one, which is very low adhesion.
Oh.
Really recommended. Let's say we paint a room with this very fancy wallpaper, and we're not touching it.
Okay.
So that's the areas where we paint the ceiling, when we paint the trim. This is the one we go for.
All right, so depending on what you're going for, pick the right tape. Okay. So let's talk technique.
Technique. Try to get as long as you can. We'll say about 18, 24 inches. Just go along the baseboard because we are not painting the baseboard. And then just gentle, press the edges of the tape so we make sure the paint won't bleed underneath the taper's edge.
So you are just pressing the edge in this case,
Just
letting the rest of it
edge,
just hang free.
Just hanging out.
All right.
Just go gentle. Make sure that the line, it covers just the baseboard. I don't want to see paint, this tape, hitting the walls because we're going to paint the walls.
Okay, I'm going to tear it right there.
There.
So once it is on, your technique for painting, you're still going to, you're just going to slop right over it because you've got protection?
Not really, Gavin. You're still following up with the same technique. Just lightly cut, just hit the edges as minimal as possible.
So still trying to make a straight line,
Straight
still
line.
being...
Same technique, like you say, you don't have any tape on it.
Okay. How long do you let it sit there before you take it off?
I usually leave it on for 25 to 30 minutes. As soon as I see the paint is dry, pulls right off.
So not 2 or 3 days later?
No, that's the last time in, the last chance to have any damage on the surface.
And your process for taking it off?
Just get gentle, just get like the top tip of the tape and give it like a 45 angle.
You're pulling it away from the
Pulling
wall.
away from the wall. This way, that will help you to keep the straight, clean line. At
Yep.
the same time, you won't have any damage to your wall.
Love it. All right, Mauro. Well, I appreciate the information and the tips on the technique. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Tommy, what are we building today?
A headboard, what do you think?
Wow, that's nice. I like that. What is that material?
That's 3/4 rough sawn flooring.
Wow, that looks really good. Yeah, I'm on board with that.
I've actually built 3 of them.
You've built 3 of these.
Well, that's mine. I built one for my daughter, and I had to build one for my son.
So today we're building one for me.
Right, but we're going to use a little bit different material. Got this at the home center. Comes in a box. It's just rough sawn lumber.
Yeah.
And we're going to make a headboard out of that.
Just kind of piece it together in random sort of styling and everything?
We're only going to make a headboard because I've got a metal frame for the bed.
All right, let's get to work.
Okay. All right, so we're going to start with this piece of 1/2-inch birch. And if we look at these boards, these are rough sawn boards. So now when the barn board goes together like this, you can see that gap?
Yep. So that's what you get when you pick rustic wood.
Right. Now if we mounted this right on the plywood, you'd actually see that white through the joint. So what I've done is I've painted a sheet of birch black. So now when you look through the joint,
Just looks like a shadow.
right.
Clever. All right.
So now we can cut the plywood to rough size. We're going to add some 2x4s to the back to stiffen and straighten out the plywood. All right, now that our plywood is straight, we're ready to start laying out the boards. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to start at the top and we're going to work our way down. Take this board and I'm going to let it go past the edge so it'll be a little long, and I'm going to overhang it slightly at the top and mark the length for our first piece. So take it and I want to just see how the joint is here. Again, I don't care if it's really square. Just want to take it here. I'm going to give you a mark. I'm going to mark it long, and you give me back both pieces.
You want the cut edge too, or you want the rough edge?
Keep the cut edge that way.
Roger that.
All right, so now I'm just going to use some construction adhesive. All right, you good there? All right, now I'm just going to use a 1-inch pin. And I'm just going to put one right here. Okay, so now we're going to start with that board, but don't put it in there yet. I'm going to take this one and push it tight to these two bottoms. So now we have this one. You can slide it into position right there, and I'll tack it off. Okay. Yeah, good. All right, so that's the piece that you cut off of this piece. We're going to start with this on the next row. So bring it in and just let it overhang a little bit. And I want to make sure that our, yeah, you can bring that in. We get maximum board right there. And we'll just tack that. All right, so now we'll take the next piece, just slide it in. And we'll just grab another board. I'll hold it up against the end of this one, mark a rough length, and you can cut that. With all the boards in place, we can make a clean cut on both ends. All right, here's a piece of our metal frame that's going to hold the mattress. It doesn't require a box spring. The measurement that we're going to have on each side of the frame will be about 5.5 inches. We can make that measurement whatever we want. It could be 2 feet, it can go behind a nightstand, or it can be flush with the metal frame.
So if our overhang comes to here,
Yeah.
what happens to this piece of wood?
All right, this piece right here we're going to cut off, but we're going to cut it off so that we can return it down and go to the wall.
Give some depth to this piece.
Right. So what I have to do is I have to make 2 opposing miter cuts. Now we can assemble the side. All right, now don't worry about that and going in too tight yet. Get this working up and down just a little bit. Right here. You might need to pull a little clamp on that. No, that's good there if you got it.
I got it.
Yep, that's it.
For the top, we're going to use a piece of 5/4 pine, and we're going to paint on this water-based finish. It'll give the wood an aged look, and that'll get close to matching the rest of the boards.
All right.
Oop, to you, right. One more to me. Good.
Okay, so push that out about 1/8 of an inch beyond the side.
Got it.
All right, let me put a couple screws up in there. All right, so all you need to do is screw this metal frame to it, or you can tack this to the wall.
Another good one, Tommy. You pulled it off again. Nice and rustic, matches perfectly. I like the return. I've got a pretty strong feeling that the viewers are going to be replicating this one as well.
I hope so. I can't wait to see the photos if they do.
All right, nice job.
Thank you.
So until next time, I'm Kevin O'Connor
And I'm Tom Silva.
for Ask This Old House.
Hey,
Going in.
hey, don't even think about it. You've been resting all day. No more. Get up.
I worked hard watching you do this.
My. You said that right. Watching.
You still talking? I'm trying to sleep. Next time on Ask This Old House.
We've been looking at some security options, really high upfront costs, high monthly fees, so we've been searching for some alternatives.
Installing a home security system is now a DIY-friendly project. I'll walk you through the process.
I'll tell you everything you need to know about sanding.
I hate sanding, so I'm going to go from 60 and then I'm going to jump right up to 220 because I'm going to save time.
No, you're not going to save time.
What?
You just created more work for yourself.
Ask This Old House has much more to show you. To watch full episodes anytime, go to pbs.org/AskThisOldHouse. And join us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. This Old House magazine, the companion to the television series, provides trusted information from our team of experts. Use your credit card to order 10 issues for $10. Call 1-800-221-5900 to subscribe.